All right, welcome to Process Not Goals. Got a really interesting one here for you today. Um, I You're following me a little bit on my journey as a day trader here, and hopefully with the idea of following the process, right? Following the process. So I think in the last video I talked a lot about how looking back through my trade journal, I realize I've got a lot of negative emotions going on. I'm a big fan of AI. I'm a big fan of Chat GPT. So I decided to create a prompt and just see what happens and see what sort of came from it. And it turns out that Chat GPT, I guess, is going to be my new trading coach. So I wrote a prompt here. I'm a day trader that's been having some success at my first year. I have a strategy that I know works, but I have some doubts in my own ability and I miss a lot of opportunities. I'd love to know what successful traders think about becoming more aggressive to increase their profitability. And what came back was, again, I'm not giving a lesson here in ChatGPT or AI, but the prompt is everything when you are using something like this. So learning how to prompt is a very important skill. So the first answer was that's a tough question and one a lot of successful traders wrestle with even deep into their careers. You're ahead of the curve because you have a strategy that works and you're self-aware enough to recognize mindset and execution as the next barrier. Now, execution, of course, is the same thing as the process, right? So how does this tie into what we're trying to get together here on with process? And that is when you're executing with my process, it works. If I go against it, if I go against my strategy, then it struggles. So, and then it gave me a couple of gave me a couple of great quotes um, from from the web that it found. Top traders emphasize that aggression isn't about throwing size; it's about pressing when you're in sync. And then Mike Bellafiore, you don't get more aggressive because you want to make more money. You get aggressive when your edge is showing up clearly. Conviction is built through preparation. Size up slowly and systematically. Aggression without control is just gambling, which is so true. So I thought these three questions that it wanted me to ask myself is, do I truly trust my setup enough to take it without hesitation every time? And right now the answer is no. I'm not executing every single trade, every single setup, and I'm certainly not executing it the correct way every single time. Do I journal and review enough to know what's working and when to size up? I think I do journal enough, but maybe I'm not always journaling the right things. I think I'm journaling more about my emotions and how I'm feeling, and as opposed to am I journaling about the actual trades I'm making. So I'm trying to change that. Am I avoiding trades out of fear or doubt? 100%. That can be fixed with preparation. For sure, there's a lot to be said that I'm executing with fear and doubt. The preparation part is really just taking the few minutes to decide where my right entry is going to be. Right, that's the thing. So yes, I can do that for sure. And then you're on the right edge of leveling up. It hinges on strategy, not only on strategy, but on mindset, conviction, and consistency. So that's all the things that, when you're working on your process, whatever your process, whether it's weight loss, starting a business, having a better relationship with your family, it's all about the process, right? And even, like a relationship process might seem weird, but like, you know what? If you put in a process that, once a month I'm going to buy my wife or girlfriend flowers, and then I'm going to surprise her on a date night once a month. And, if you make that part of it, that's going to help your relationship. So I wrote back, "This is great insight. Thank you." He says, "You're welcome. Glad it resonated. You're thinking like a real trader now, not just tracing profits, but dialing in process, self-awareness, and precision." Then it gave me a few more things, which you could read on your own. I wrote, "My biggest issue is not 100% follow my plan. I get FOMO, which is fear of missing out. I chase trades," as you wrote in the questions, to ask myself, do I trust myself? That's where I need to get to. And then he's right, you're on the right track. So you can just see how ChatGPT has been learning from other traders on the web and it's giving me what they've all learned. So I'm enhancing my ability to follow that process better. So the fact that you know the issue isn't your strategy, it's your execution, means you're already operating a higher level than most traders. And then let's break down how to actually get to that trust level. And then you can build unshakable confidence. So just, it's amazing what you can do with ChatGPT. So, if you want to prompt it to say, I am a 22-year-old and I just graduated college and I don't know what to do with my life. Please give me career advice. I'm interested in X, Y, and Z, right? So, it's like you can ask ChatGPT and it could become this coach for you. And the best thing is the cost is completely free. So now it's saying shift what the definition of success is. Instead of did I make money or did I follow my plan? Just understanding what success can be, and then having a rule for FOMOing trades, and then just a lot of different concepts. It asks me if I want to build out a daily execution tracker. So here's something that I didn't end up using this. I could show you I just did a little something on my own today. And so you can see here, today's April 21st. Trade 1, 2 contracts. I got in and made money, but not enough patience. Trade 2, shorted lower, good entry, good execution, good result. So far I've made 6 trades. It's 12 o'clock exactly on April 21st. And, all my trades have worked out well. A quick scalp for 13 points short, still on all sell signals, right? So, it's just a matter of finding what process works for everybody. It gave me some examples of trade trackers, TradeZella, Epic Trader. I'm not going to really use any of these. And then I wrote in reviewing my journal, I've noticed everything's so negative. Even though I'm making money, I believe my expectations are too high. And then he's like, ChatGPT is like, you hit on something deeply important and incredibly common among ambitious, high expectation traders. The disconnect between performance and perception. You're making money, you have a working system, but your internal dialogue is still, I'm not doing enough. So you can just keep reading through here. If you want to pause it, I'll go slowly. I'm not going to read over every single thing here, but it's just very interesting how I got all of this information off of ChatGPT and how it's really allowing me to hopefully follow my process better, become a better trader. I love this positive mindset journal. What went well today? What did I do better? Just kind of staying in the right frame of mind and hopefully making it there. So, we're all about the process. We're all about trying to make ourselves better in whatever endeavor we're working on. There are so many tools out there. Don't be afraid of IA. For an older person like me in their mid-50s, you know what? Just learn about it. Watch some YouTube videos and learn how to use ChatGPT. Make sure that prompting is good. The prompting is really everything. But again, I'm just kind of blown away as to how this really helped me. And, the first day that I've traded after I created this, it's all seems to be working quite well. So with that said, everyone have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video.